Hello and welcome to Christian Weather Broadcasting. Today we're going to be forecasting Hurricane Ian. Yes, it is again a hurricane. But before we do, take a look at the gospel message in the description because Jesus can save you from hell. Alrighty, let's get right into forecasting this hurricane. Here's a hurricane on satellite imagery. It's now blowing 85-mile-an-hour wind, so it is strengthened quite a bit since it became a hurricane yesterday evening. Luckily, it shouldn't strengthen anymore because it is about to make landfall in South Carolina. Though I do think there may be a possibility it could reach 90 miles an hour, but that's very, very slim because its center is about to move onshore in South Carolina. As you can see, 85-mile-an-hour wind, 980 millibar pressure, moving luckily faster at 14 miles an hour, still not extremely fast. Let's see here. For the key messages, there's a danger of life-threatening storm surge today along the coasts of the Carolinas within the storm surge warning areas. Hurricane-force winds are expected along the coasts of South Carolina and southeastern North Carolina within the hurricane warning area soon. Hurricane conditions are possible in North Carolina within the hurricane watch area by this afternoon. Preparation should be rushed to completion. Do not make the death toll of this storm higher. There's already 21 confirmed deaths in Florida. Don't make the death toll higher. Be smart about this. Get out if you still can. Ongoing major to record river flooding will continue through next week across portions of central Florida. Considerable flooding is expected today across portions of coastal and northeast South Carolina. Coastal North Carolina and southeast Virginia. Locally considerable flooding is possible across portions of northeast North Carolina and southern Virginia by today to early Saturday. So do expect some flooding. Let's take a look at that rainfall potential. Luckily, not as much rain as previously forecasted, but there are still some areas extending from Charleston up to around props. Charlotte, even further than Charlotte, where we can expect 4 to 6 inches. In some areas near Roanoke, where we can expect possibly 6 to 10 inches. So do expect some flash flooding from the storm. As you can see, there's a moderate chance of flash flooding extending from all the way from uh, from South Carolina all the way up to around Norfolk, Virginia, which is quite insane if you think about it. Hurricane force wind swaths are starting to move onto South Carolina. Those tropical storm force winds are already moving on land, so start experiencing those tropical storm force wind speeds and expect the hurricane force ones to move on soon. We're going to expect around Isle of Palms to around Little River Inlet 4 to 7 feet of storm surge. So if you live in a storm surge area and still can get out because you do not want to be underwater because it is very, very unsafe to be under that much water. Let's take a look at our storm surge inundation map. As you can see, some areas will be experiencing 4 to 6 feet of storm surge. So some areas will be underwater. So we're going to see some areas with a lot of storm surge. So be prepared for a strong hurricane, Category 1 hurricane moving on land. Expect high winds today and expect those hurricane force winds to be moving on just very, very soon. They're practically on land right now. Then we can expect this to weaken into a tropical storm before weakening into a depression and then becoming nothing, because I think it will be caught up into a front. But the wind field on this thing is monstrous. So North Carolina and Georgia should expect some wind, even up possibly further as this storm moves in, maybe up into Virginia. We could expect tropical storm force winds. So be prepared for hurricane force weather. Take a look at these tracks. We can expect landfall to be around Myrtle Beach. Our intensity guidance isn't showing any further strengthening, though I do think it is a possibility, a slim possibility of further strengthening. But once it makes landfall, it'll definitely weaken. That is your forecast for this storm. Thank you for watching. This has been Christian Weather Broadcasting.